Well, this week, the Trump administration issued a moratorium on evictions for some renters because of COVID-19. There are some conditions, and some landlords aren't very happy about this. Lawyer Chris Finney represents landlords, and he is here to discuss the issue with us. Chris, thanks so much for joining us early on a Saturday morning. We appreciate it.
Bright, good morning, Anjanette.
So talk to me a little bit about, this whole issue is kind of heartbreaking, I feel like. I can't imagine somebody being put out on the street because they've lost their job or what have you because of COVID. But I know there's another side to this too, that the landlords, this is their income, this is the revenue they make. So talk to me a little bit about your concerns about the order issued by the CDC this week.
Sure. Well, yeah. So what does the order say? The order, prior to this, going back to March, different states had enacted eviction moratoriums, but most of those has expired, so that landlords were now able to dispossess people of property that previously they were required to keep them. So let me then go to your question, which is, let's assume we have a societal problem of evictions, of homelessness because people can't afford their rent. That's a societal problem, and it's unprecedented to say that the vendors, in this case landlords, of a particular problem have to pay to provide that for free. So if there's a drug shortage, that pharmacists have to pay for it for free, or if there's a problem where schools aren't funded, that teachers have to work for free. We don't do that in our society. But what this order says is that landlords simply cannot evict anyone for non-payment of rent, and actually for a variety of other reasons, between now and the end of the year. And that's for anyone making individual more than less than $100,000 a year, and for a couple making less than $200,000 a year. So a landlord simply can't do anything to force the payment of rent, and he's stuck. And what that's going to mean is a hardship for some landlords. They're going to, first of all, just have the harassment of having a tenant in their property who's not paying rent, and potentially is a problem for other reasons, although there are exceptions in the moratorium, eviction moratorium, for other reasons.
Now, I hate to interrupt you.
They're then not going to be able to get the revenue and pay their mortgage and so on.
So this is designed to control the spread or stop the spread of COVID-19 and then keep people from becoming homeless. So is there any way for your clients maybe to work with the tenants?
Sure, and we've had situations where landlords will work with tenants and in accepting reduced rent, a payment plan, security, or other ways of resolving the issue. But a blanket moratorium, which is just a heavy hammer on landlords, is a problem. If you go back to 2008, Anjanette, we had broad problems in our economy because banks became unstable. So as banks went out of business, they can't lend. Obviously it causes their shareholders to lose money. And it creates tremendous instability in the economy. So it's a blunt instrument to put this societal problem of problems with people paying their rent that may, in some instances, devolve into homelessness. But it's a blunt instrument to place all of that burden on the people who chose to invest in real property, landlords, which is what the Trump administration has done.
All right. Well, this is a really tough topic, I think. I think it's a tough issue to deal with, and we're going to continue to follow it in the weeks ahead. Thanks so much, Chris, for joining us yet again this morning.